Hey Barney's Musos, we're memorising a tune each time we're on to free up our brains so that we can engage with the lyrics and with God and lead people in what we're aiming to do. And to be singing about, here's how I break down another chart. This one's memorisation for this time is King of Kings. So grab the chart and break it down into sections. We'll note many of our other tunes have been in the key of C, and that's pretty straight ahead to know which numbers are which, but just in case you are stumped ever with this, you can just write the scale out at the start. We're in the key of D, you can see two sharps. That would be over here. I can write in D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, and D. And so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Ones, fours, and fives are majors. 6 is a minor. Usually that's what we've got to work with, and I'm pretty sure that's all we have to worry about with this tune. So it starts off in 4/4, a little pickup into it, but that's okay. It's got a repeat on that, so we're just going to drop that on there. A repeat, and it's 1 on 3 to 4 to 5 to 1. 1 on 3 to 4 to 5 to 1. 1 on 3, 4, 5, 1. 1 on 3, 4, 5, 1. 1 on 3, 4, and then 5, but it's just a 2/4 bar. And then we're back into 4/4 to play the riff, which is on the 1 chord. And that's 2 bars worth of that. I'm just going to keep the sections complete, so I'm just going to scribble out that chorus. Oh, that was all the verse. Chorus. Let's mark out 8 bars and see what happens. We've got a 1, we've got a 4, we've got a 6 minor, and we've got a 5. That's 5 sus to 5, but that's relatively small. Again, chorus, we've got 1, 4, 6 minor, 5, and then they're 2/4 thing again. 2/4 on a 5 chord before we're back into the 4/4 time and 2 bars on the riff of the 1. Cool. That sends us back, that repeat. You'll notice that this is a first time here, so we can put that in. There's a second time over here, which is just the same thing, but it's going on to verse 3. So there's a verse 1 there. It has the riff at the end of it. We'll notice on verse 3 that it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bars. Now, the interesting thing is they've substituted the 6 minor in here instead of the 1 on 3. So we might as well write that in there for verse 3 and verse 4. Oh no, verse 3 alone. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4 bars. That's 6 minor to 4, 5, 1. 6 minor, 4, 5, 1. 6 minor, 4, 5, 1. 6 minor, 4, 5, 1. You can write that as just those repeats like that with a 2. That might be an easy way just to realise that verse 3 is different. Changes to the 6 minor. 6 minor is a substitute for a 1. They're very similar. In the key of D, your 1 chord is D. It's got a D. Can you even see this? D, F sharp, and A. 1 on 3 means you just put the F sharp into the bass. But if you look at the 6 minor, the B minor, you've got B, D, F sharp, and A if it's a B minor 7. So you've got, which isn't, even though it says B minor, you can easily play B minor 7. The 6 minors take their flattened 7th on top of that, nice and easy, whereas the other ones makes a bit of a bigger difference. You'll notice that 3 of the 4 notes are here anyway, the same. You could be playing, the guitarist could be playing, or piano player could be playing the same thing, D, F, A. If you just put a B underneath it from the bass player, you've got a B minor 7. So they're very close substitutes. Hence, that's what they've done here, just to kind of create some variation. It's a bit of a drop because of the lyric, and then once it goes to verse 4, it drops back into that thing, the 1 on 3, which always feels like it's got some forward motion, or it's not settled in the way that a normal 1 does, because it's got the third in the bass. So verse 4 is back to verse 1. 1 on 3 to 4, 5 to 1. 1 on 3 to 4, yeah, 5 into 1. Page 3. 1 on 3, 4, 5, 1. 1 on 3, 4, 5, 1. 1 on 3, 4, the 2/4 bar on the 5, and then the 2 bars of the 1. So verse 4 equals verse 1. Then we've got a chorus. Let's check that. 1, 4, 6 minor, 5. 1, 4, 6 minor, 5. Now, slight variation here because we're just going to a tag. So we might just write that down for clarity's sake. Final chorus this time is going to be 1, 4, 6 minor, 5, 1, 4, 6 minor to 4, 5, 1. Then we've got the tag of, 1 on 3 to 4, a 2/4 bar of the 5, back to 4/4 for the riff to finish on the 1 chord. Okay, so looking at that overall, we note that we've got a kind of a 10-bar verse, which we will do for verse 1 and for verse 2. We've got that same thing happening in verse 3. Just watching out for that little 2/4 bar. Verse 3 is just the 8 bars. It doesn't have the tag on the end of it because they roll verse 3 into verse 4. The chorus is the same if it's a chorus by itself each time, like there's the first and the second, but when you do this one here with a tag, it just slots a little bit more in before it does the 2/4 bar into the riff. So hopefully that gives you a bit of an overview and helps you memorize that a little bit more clearly. Not unfamiliar chords, the 1, 4, 6 minor and 5, and just that kind of little variations of putting the 1 on 3 to kind of just be aware of kind of how that feels. It feels like a 1, but it's not as settled when it's on the 3. It just wants to keep moving. It has stuff's going on. It's not resting at home. Because the other thing we're trying to do, of course, as we do more of these, is just get familiar with what the feel is. You can hear a chord and you might not have to do the maths in your head to be able to tell where it's a 1, 4, 5 or 6 minor, but after a while you kind of hear the stuff and you recognize where it is, which will guide you. The other wrinkle, of course, is the 2/4 bars, but if you know the tune, you've sung along, it makes a lot of sense. It feels right to have a 2/4 bar there. Okay, all the best with that. Hope it goes great. Cheers.